Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Breakout Racing League here tonight at Ace on ACC Tier 2 at Nürburgring, the 4th round of the season. Qualifying is going to end here in around 6 minutes, and we have a pretty decent grid of 12 drivers here for this hour-long race. I will be your only commentator tonight, DXD Ichigo, and yeah, we're just going to hop in and see what's going on. Currently, the time of the night is 57 flat with Tipper in the Lamborghini. He is new to Breakout Racing League and new to ACC on the Breakout Racing League side with Nightcrawler, 4/10 back, Game Stopper, and Redeemer, Mr. Pink, the current pace setters for most of the season so far. And we are missing a few drivers. I know the main driver missing is Scartrix. He is, I believe, the championship leader, but he will not be here tonight unless he joins in the next 30 or so minutes, I believe, because qualifying is 25 minutes. So he's got about 30 minutes to try and join. But yeah, currently you have a 11 car grid, and practice is almost over. We are now just going to ride on board with LDR Redeemer here in the Lexus.
Green light. Go, go, go.
As practice has now come to a close, we are in the daylight here for qualifying. Like I said earlier, there's 25 minutes of this qualifying session with 12 cars. Yeah, 12 cars for tonight's race so far. Hopefully we get some more in soon. I still have plenty of time to try and get in. As our first man out is Nightcrawler in the Ferrari. One of two Ferraris tonight. He is currently sitting P9 in the standings with 22 points. And it's actually a pretty close fight from P9 up to P7 in the standings, with Axe F1 in the Honda on 28 points and TRL Stig in the McLaren on 26 points. He just gets off the jack, so it's interesting for them. They definitely want to get some good points here because they can easily overtake each other in this race, as this race is double points, I believe. So 50 points for the win. I'll have to double check that after the race, but I'm pretty sure it's double points. Meanwhile, championship leader LDR Redeemer was looking good in practice, and he's currently on leading the championship with 75 points in the Lexus, with Mr. Titan and the Honda on 74 points. So only a 1 point difference between the two drivers. The Scar Tricks, like I said, he's missing for tonight's race. He's third on 61.5 points. Meanwhile, Mr. Pink is directly behind him with 61 points. So only half a point separating those drivers. And then you have Tipper on 43 points and GameStopper on 40 points. As Mr. Pink comes out the pits now, we're going to go to Nightcrawler and watch his lap. He's just about to start it. Let's see what the Ferrari driver can do. Getting up to the final corner and onto the back straight. Now Nightcrawler's coming to finish up the lap. What time will it be? It is a 58.3. Not too bad of a banker lap, but he's definitely going to want more time. As practice fastest lap was a 57 flat, so definitely got more time to find. And the next guy up is BRL. Is he finishing the lap? He is. He's about 3.5 seconds off the pace. Car number 88 is Mr. Titan. He goes up to P2, also about 3 seconds off the pace. Crucially, about 5 tenths ahead of his teammates, so these drivers definitely have more time to find, especially Mr. Titan, as he is one of the championship contenders for this season. Now I'm going to go on board car 95, Axe F1, three Honda drivers, the Honda trio as it's known here in Tier 2. Chicane right here. Let's see if he gets the braking marks right. Pretty good. Late turn. Come across again. Don't get loose on this curve. Brake hard. Try and hold the inside line so you can. Don't get loose there. You'll keep it there. Just definitely gonna have more time to find. What can you do? It's a 9.5. Goes within a second and a half. Oh, Stig pops up even better, about 2/10 quicker than Axe F1. Nightcrawler looking like he has the pace so far in this qualifying session. Early days. Very early days in the qualifying session. Still about 20 minutes left. As Mr. Pink goes up from 58 flat. About like 4/10 up on Nightcrawler. Let's see if Nightcrawler's improving. He is 10th up. Can he get it out of his final corner? And he's get it. He's got about 2/10, so he won't get pole, but he'll be close to it. Got 10th and a half down on Mr. Pink so far. So we're gonna go look for someone else to spectate. Come back to Nightcrawler after he gets close to him. 33. That is BRL. Still about 4 seconds off the pace. Meanwhile, Mr. Titan still about 3.5 seconds off the pace. Down to Johan in the pink and blue McLaren. Very interesting color choice, color scheme for the McLaren, but it's definitely unique. Starting his lap, it's right on board with him. It's hard for turn 1. Down to first gear. Nope, second gear. Definitely going to compromise his line. Wider line for a tighter exit out of the corner. The curbing. Brakes again. Want to hug the inside line if you can. Just about does just up to second gear. Tries his best to maneuver around the corner. Gonna get the acceleration on out of gear. Let's see if he brakes for this corner. Doesn't want to brake just after the cones, because the cones aren't there anymore, but he brakes after the cones anyways. Very good. He brakes here, brake now. Yep, maybe shift down to first. Nope, wants to keep it in second. Just let the car roll out of the corner. And drive down the hill into the hairpin. Let's see if it's braking right here. It's very easy to lock up here. Goes down to first gear. Bit wide, short shifts up to second. He's out of the corner. Let's see what he does here. Really hug that curving on the outside. No, just keep it in the middle of the track. In third gear. Out of the exit of the corner. Up to fourth. Up to fifth. Nope, it's gonna let it. Oh yeah, it goes up to fifth. Down to third. Down to second. So that's invalidated. Yes, it is. And he's gonna have to do another lap at this point. Nightcrawler has gone even faster for 56.6 while we were watching Johan. Great lap from Nightcrawler. Is he up on time? Yes, he's nearly 6 times up on his time. Very interesting to see if he can keep his lap together, because at this point it will put him 7.3. Comes through the fast chicane, can he keep it on the track? Brakes late with those Porsche brakes, they're known for being great. Gets through the chicane, he's about a second up. At this point, he'll be about 7/10 ahead if he can make the final corner. If he does, he's going to lose some time. It's going to be almost a second up exactly. It's going to be a 57 dead. That is the full time in pre-practice, so the boys are already getting down on the time and starting to push even harder. So Nightcrawler's going to have to respond surely if he wants a shot at pole position. Redeemer shoots up to second, 66 hundredths of a second behind Mr. Pink. Very good lap from the Lexus driver, current championship leader. Waves performance getting up the pace, needs to find some time. And that's Rush coming up to the line. Just starting his lap. Checking car number 25 Bob earlier, struggling with the car. He validated this lap as well. There's Nightcrawler, who's improving. He's going into the special cane. He's just starting his lap, so we'll just watch him. The off-board cam get some nice cinematic photography going on. He needs to find about 6.5 tenths if he wants to get back on pole position. So now about 14 minutes left in this qualifying session. Brakes for turn 1, racing smooth, about 2 tenths down, so he's going to have to find some time. He's found it on the exit though. Hopefully he can carry the speed through this corner right here. It's very long, very winding. Stays on the track. He's still 2 tenths down, but he'll definitely make that time up throughout the rest of his lap. Johan directly in front of him, so hopefully Johan doesn't get in his way. Oh, yep, he does get out the way. Out of the hairpin, he's still 2.5 tenths down. So this first sector is a wrap for this lap, but he's still got 2 more. Oh, will he get a better exit out of the hairpin? He might. Yes, he will. Just a little bit. He's already gained 10 coming out of the hairpin. The Schumacher S's, he's now on par with his time, gaining a bit of time actually. He does here stay on the track. Yes, he does. Losing time though. Just kind of second gear. He's dead even, losing a little bit of time. He's going to lose some more time because he's kind of messed up the acceleration point. But he's still got this fast chicane. This will give you a lot of time if you nail it. He does. 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd. Gets on the curving. Don't go too wide. Oh, he has to lift to avoid going onto the grass. Find some time in this final corner. You can get some more time. No, you can't. He's about 10 far off of his PB. The game stop were about 60 hundredths behind him in P4. And Rush is going up to 5th, about 9 tenths off the pole position. Redeemer, is he improving on his time? Yes, he's nearly 4 tenths up. 3 tenths. Oh, it's 4 tenths now. 5 tenths. Can he keep it through here? Keeps it in 3rd. Does he shift down to 2nd here? Yes, he does. Gonna have to go long and hard out of this corner. He does. Still about 6 tenths up. I think he nailed the acceleration. Not going to get any slipstream from the Lexus in front of him. So hopefully just going to get distracted. Let's see where he brakes. 3rd here. Oh, he goes a bit wide. Misses the apex. At least he stays on the track. He's still a few tenths up. All he needs is 66 hundredths of a second to get on pole. It's going to be about 2.5 tenths up. He would not snatch pole if his game stopper ahead of him is not even faster, a 56.8. So Lexus boys looking very strong. They're looking very strong in last night's race on Tier 1 with Palm Tree in 2nd, me ahead of them in the Audi for 1st. So the Lexuses are very good around Nürburgring, and it shows that they're now locking out the front row. The Radicus in the chat saying, let's go to Porsche. They would definitely like a better race than last night's race in Tier 1. Mr. Pink he's definitely trying his best, only 2 tenths off. Top 3 are in the class of their own right now. Everyone else 8 tenths back and further. Out. Ooh, he's really messed up back. He's gonna have to I don't think he's going to be able to improve on this lap. Yeah, he's giving up. On back into the pits. Yeah, really good showing from the Lexus boys tonight. As we can see, split time. This Redeemer is just fractionally ahead, and every sector, barring the final sector where we saw he made that mistake going really wide at the first part of the fast chicane. Oh, his tipper goes even faster in the Lamborghini with 56.4. Very good lap from the Lamborghini driver. So Titan still trying to improve. I'm really surprised by the lack of pace from the Honda boys. They're usually right there in like the top 5, top 4 with Mr. Titan leading the charge, but it's going. Hopefully they can find some more pace. As my audio, I will try and fix that. Give me one moment. Alright, I am back. Let me know if the audio sounds any better. Oh, you're tripping? Well, it's fine. Now you can hear my voice even more. And I tend to agree with you, Radicus. I do think the Honda sucks. It's just great at certain tracks, mainly Bathurst. But in the hands of Mr. Titan, at least this season in Tier 2, it's been pretty decent. Even with the likes of Ardell and Axe, who are a bit slower in Tier 2, but they've had their moments. Now the top 4 are separated by 0.5 of a second. Meanwhile, from P5 down to P7 is separated by a second, and then you have Mr. Titan, Axe, Ardell, and Heatwave a bit off the pace. I appreciate that, Radicus. That's very nice of you to say. Heatwave drifts out of the final corner, touching the gravel trap. That's definitely not what he wanted. Go back on board of GameStopper. He's just going to be starting his lap here in a few, about 30 or 40 seconds. So we'll just ride on board with him for a little bit, see if he can improve. He's fine 0.3 of a second, and Redeemer needs to find about 0.4 of a second. Mr. Pink needs about 5.5. So I think these guys can find time. It's just going to be a matter of hooking up the lap, getting the tires in the right operating window, because it's very crucial. Yeah, I like Heatwave's livery too. It's kind of nice. It's very unique with the light purple, the white, and the black. It's definitely a unique one. I'm looking forward to seeing it at night. Hopefully, it really sparkles out there on track. As I think that's going to be a wrap for GameStopper's lap, because he's about 1.5 seconds down. And if he finds like 2 seconds in this lap, it's going to be tough. Because Nightcrawler's just gone faster than GameStopper. He's now in 0.3 of Tipper. It's a very good showing from the Ferrari driver. Go see Mr. Pink. Is he improving? We'll see in a minute here. He's coming across the line, 5.5 down. Still 5.5 down, so we're gonna have to find some more time. It's about 5 minutes left in the session. So Titan across the line, just not improved. How about Stig? He is not improved. Car number 23 is Redeemer. Let's see what he can do. Teammate's gonna do another lap. What can Redeemer do any faster? Yes, he can. And about, what was that? 0.6 of a second. And now he's about 0.15 of a second off Nightcrawler in P2, so very close between the top, really the top 4. Not even top 5. Mr. Pink isn't that far off. Tipper's not coming out the pits once again. He's going to want another shot to go even faster because he knows these guys behind him are really wanting that pole position. It's a very nice livery from the Lamborghini. I'm pretty sure that's just one of the stock livery choices the game gives you, but it looks very nice. It's bluish purple hue to it. Now that car comes right up, flying about 5.5 down on his PB, so he's gonna have 2 more laps to do something as GameStopper comes into the pits. Oh, nope, Nightcrawler is also coming into the pit, so he's not going again. So that is his qualifying over. As things stand right now, he will be P2 unless Redeemer can improve. GameStopper is not going on again. Neither is Rush, neither is Stick, neither is Ardell or Johan. He's not set a lap time in this qualifying session. Mr. Pink just crossed the line. This will be his final lap on board with the Porsche driver. Oh, he takes way too much curbing, and that is his qualifying over. Redeemer is improving. 4 tenths down. Going to go on board with Tipper. See if he's improving. Oh, it's about 5 seconds down. Anyone else improving? Mr. Titan? About a second. 1.1 seconds off the pace. Oh, he's on his outlap. And... oh, Axe! Oh, big snap! That's Axe. Is qualifying. It's not done. If he gets the car rolling again, he'll still have time. Bigger question is, will his tires be okay? He's going to have to cool them down before his next lap. If he wants to set another lap, as he will have the time. Tipper is now starting his final lap of the race. I mean, qualifying, not the race. Qualifying is now officially over, so everyone will be on their last laps. Last 4 drivers on the track. Ooh, Tippers found a huge amount of time. Redeemer is just going back into the pits along with car 95. So it is now just Tipper and Mr. Titan, with Tipper about a tenth and a half up, 2 tenths up on his time. Goes a bit wide here. He's really trying to get the throttle to go. Lose car a little bit here, but he'll keep it flat. Gonna lose some time due to the poor acceleration zone, but he still has this fast left-right chicane. As Mr. Titan's pulled off the pit, so it's off to Tipper. He's doing this for pride now. He does not need to be his lap, but he wants to. He goes up to 6th gear for a second there. It's not going to stop him from getting through the chicane. About 10th up. Looks like Newland's final corner. Goes down to 1st gear. Revving out like crazy. He's going to lose a lot of time. He goes in the gravel, and that is his qualifying over, as he will snatch pole. About a 3/10 gap. Very impressive showing from the lone Lamborghini driver here in Tier 2. We now have a look at the sector times, if you are interested. Yeah, Heatwave, you are too fast. 3 seconds off the pace. You need to be in Tier 1 right away. Yeah, looking at the sector times here, see in the top 5, it's pretty close, honestly. GameStopper, fastest 3rd sector at the Lexus. Nightcrawler, fastest 2nd sector in the Ferrari. And Redeemer, fastest 1st sector in the Lexus. So Lexus looking really good tonight, and Tipper just showing his pace in the Lamborghini. So this could really help Lexus right now, because they have 2 cars in the top 4. They'll be starting alongside each other on the 2nd row of the grid, and they only have to really worry about Mr. Pink in the Porsche, and that won't really be a threat in a straight, due to the fact that it's being a Porsche, which means it has no straight line speed. So it's going to be interesting to see what they can do against Tipper and Nightcrawler, as the Lexus is known to be pretty fast and straight. We have free practice a little bit, maybe get some insight what the drivers are doing pace-wise. Redeemer did 31 laps in practice, so he obviously knows what he's doing around this track. After all that practice, I myself did 47 laps of practice for the Tier 1 race last night, and I won, so practice never hurts. It never hurts. He's done the most laps along with GameStopper, so both Lexuses doing a lot of laps in practice, trying to hammer their way around this track, figure it out, along with Mr. Titan. And Tipper has done the 3rd least amount of laps. So he doesn't have a whole lot of practice, at least in the practice session, but obviously that hasn't stopped him from showing his pace in practice and qualifying. As he was about 6 tenths up on his free practice time. We're seeing some donuts going on in the pit lane. Very nice to see. Stig also having some fun. Stig providing a little bit of a show for us here tonight before we head into the race. Don't think that he's doing his tires any well, though. Hopefully he doesn't start on those tires or use them in the race, because that would be very bad, as we are now on the grid. 2-minute wait time, so drivers can do what they need to go. Get some water, go to the bathroom, eat a snack, and more importantly, change their setup to make sure it is tuned. This is a 2-stop race. You have to pit twice in an hour. It's actually quite a few pit stops, considering it's only an hour-long race. So the fuel stints for these drivers will be very short. Probably only about 35 liters each, give or take, depending on how much fuel they're burning. Because a 30, well, it might be a bit more, because a 30-minute race usually requires around 60 liters of fuel. So add an extra 2, so 120 liters split up 3 different times. That's what, 40 liters. So yeah, about around 40 liters each stint. So very short stints here. So the drivers will be fast pretty much the entire race because they won't have to worry about any sort of long distance fuel running. And they also need to make sure, with this being I believe it's a 12 times multiplier for this race, so it's going to be a 24-hour sim race, basically. I might be wrong though, but if it does go tonight, they have to watch out for the tire temperatures. They have to make sure they go to the strategy and manually change the PSIs for the tires, or else their races will be ruined about halfway into the race, and they do not want that. We saw that happen quite a few times in the Tier 1 race last night. People didn't manually change their tire pressures for that second stint, and they had to pit again because their tire pressures were set for the daytime running instead of nighttime running.
10 seconds.
So there's now 10 seconds left in this little wait time before we get the race underway. 3, 2, 1, 0. Race is going to start here at 3:40 p.m. It should end at 3:40 p.m. And oh no! Who's that in the pits? Someone is starting in the pit lane. Can't see who that is. Oh, his Redeemer goes off the track. Hopefully everyone gets in the positions. Yes, yes, yes. Good job, boys. Good job. Everyone line up in their proper spots. Why is it... What is happening with Tipper? What is going on? Tipper is not going to make it back to the front at this stage. He's going to have to slow down for the... He's not going to make it. Don't speed. You're just going to have to sit there now, Tipper. That was a very hectic start.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Not even start. Now we're starting. Green flag. Tipper's all the way down to P5, P6, P7. So they're now going 3 wide. Nightcrawler in the lead, but he's got 2 fast Lexuses behind him. There's a bit of contact, and now Tipper's off! Tipper's crashed! Tipper's crashed, and there's more contact behind with the Ferrari of Rush. And Tipper's gone from pole position down to, I believe that is P10. Once the timetables update, that is a crazy start to the race. Tipper goes around the outside. Meanwhile, up ahead. Oh, I just want to see Tipper. I want to see Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler is going to be leading the race. I just see in the chat here it says this is not supposed to be a 2-stop race, but it is anyways. So it'll just be that much more interesting in terms of strategy, because they only have an hour to pit 2 times. Like I said before, they'll be doing very short hot stints here, because there's a mistake from Mr. Pink, another mistake from Tipper in the background, and oh no, that's a spin between, is that a McLaren? Yeah, McLaren and Axe F1, they have made contact. Stig and Axe have made contact. Oh no! And that's Mr. Pink and Redeemer. No, it's GameStopper. They've made contact. And that's the car number. That's number 27. There's contact all over the field. And Rush is just sitting. And we have a safety car, folks. We do have a safety car. We do have a safety car. So everyone, please be aware that we have a safety car. Hopefully the drivers get the message that there is a safety car, because that blue dot does signify a safety car. Oh my gosh, what a hectic start to the race. There's a safety car waiting for the drivers to make their way to the safety car. He should be going a bit slower theoretically if he wants them to catch up, in case some of these drivers don't realize that we are under safety car. As Tipper comes into the pits, of course, he has to fix the damage he got on lap 1, along with Heat Wave and GameStopper. Look at all that damage. He hit that wall very hard. He is going to have to come into the pits. Good thing is, with this only being an hour-long race, you can viably pit. Heck, if you really wanted to, you could take both your pit stops off and go to the end. The tires will be screeching at around like 45 minutes probably, but if you really wanted to, you could get rid of both your mandatory pit stops and go to the end like this. Will we see anyone do that? We will have to wait and see. I believe Rush is out of the race. He was stopped on track for a good while there and is peeled off into the pits. But there is Gucci Lucci in the golden white Mercedes with a bit of red in there, actually. Very nice livery for the Mercedes safety car. His heat wave has got a drive through. He was speeding in the pit lane and he now has a drive through. That is a shame for the Porsche driver. So I'm not gonna look at the replays. Oh yes, it worked. We got to see the replay of the start. So let's see. These camera angles are terrible. There we go. Let's see what happened to Tipper. It just looks like he did not go. Yeah, he did not go. And he catches back up. He's caught up to the field. And then he slows down again. Do not know why. Oh, that's a McLaren of Stig. Can't see because the game's being stupid. Oh, it's okay. We'll just watch the restart real quick. I want to see these guys. They were going 3 wide. I know Tipper hit a Ferrari of Rush. He was up to P4. Oh, that's a shame. See what we see here. Yep, here comes Ardell up the middle. Then Tipper touches the grass, I believe. Yep, he touches the grass. Tries to get it away, Mr. Pink, and Rush is just a casualty at that point. No, I think that's Stig who got hit as well. Oh, Heatwave lost the car into Stig. We've already seen Tipper and Rush fighting, but I want to see the fight for the lead again. Good camera angle. There's Rush. He's made contact with Johan, I believe. Or to get spun, he tapped Tipper and that sent him into a loop. Oh, the big loop is... Oh, Heatwave almost taps him. Oh, there's more contact. Big impact. I'm gonna go back to the race. But yeah, that was a very hectic start to the race here. As GameStopper is still out as the safety car. I believe the safety car is going to go on for a while because there is a huge field spread here going on right now. They're just passing the Schumacher S's. Meanwhile, Rush, who's back out on track, is just now crossing the finish line. I believe he's a lap down because GameStopper is in P11. But yes, he is a lap down. In fact, a lot of these cars are a lap down. The safety car will do another lap at this point in the race. Still trying to get a few more cars to catch up with the field here. Skipper's doing a little lawn mowing here in the Lamborghini. I'm probably gonna see a lot of cars doing that in tonight's race. As that is Axe F1 coming into the pit lane. So I do believe he is trying the strat of getting rid of both of these mandatory pit stops. There's about 50 minutes left in this race, so he can easily make it to the end. Only problem will be he will have very old tires by the end, and he's going to have to run a lot of fuel to the end of this race. If, let's say, the Honda burns 3 liters a lap, he's going to lead. He's going to need about anywhere from 90 to 95 liters of fuel if we don't get any safety cars. If we get 2 or 3, he could probably make it with about 80 liters, but it's going to be interesting. And it could work. Heat wave is also coming into the pits as well. Stop for trying to pass rush, maybe. This is safety car is doing another lap. Might come in at the end of this lap. We'll have to wait and see. You know, for Axe's sake, he would like it to do a few more laps for the strategy to pay off. This Tipper is just about now going to catch up to the rest of the pack. Meanwhile, GameStopper is, I think, trying to get past Rush at this point. I don't know if he can do that technically. Rush is a lap down on GameStopper. And Rush could really just follow GameStopper through. Rush does not have to do anything of the sort. Should go back to the safety car. Will it peel away? Will it pull away this lap? Or will it do another one? As Heat Wave was just not coming out of the pits. Turn 1. Meanwhile, Axe is making his way through the first sector. And I believe we're doing another lap. Actually, there's only been 3 laps in this race so far, so... Yeah, Square. I think it's genius, actually, because... Oh, the safety car's pulling in now. Too busy looking at the chat, but it's pulling in now. Nightcrawler will dictate the pace, but I think Axe has pulled a fast on these guys. Really depends if we get another safety car at this point, as Nightcrawler is going to go now. The pack is not jumbled up at all. It's quite spread out, actually. So, and look at this fight between the 2 McLarens and the Tipper. Sorry, English. Here comes Tipper down the middle. Will he try it or will he just stick behind? Don't! Oh, he's got to move down the inside and not make contact with the McLaren. And it's a double overtake from the... Wow. Double overtake from the Lamborghini driver. Very nice move. Very nice move indeed. That was a great move. Yeah, Redeemer and Mr. Titan, they're fighting a little bit. Meanwhile, Mr. Pink is right behind Nightcrawler. Oh, it goes really wide, way too deep. He's off into the gravel. Come back onto the track and got from first to 4th. What a shame for the Ferrari driver. Meanwhile, I believe that's Ardell and the McLaren. Yes, they were going side by side. They're no longer going side by side. Oh, this is a great camera angle. I'll keep this in mind. This is really nice. Plenty of stuff. No one's going side by side just yet. Oh, meanwhile, Tipper is trying to move on. One Nightcrawler. He would like to get the position. Trying to go around the outside. Can he make it stick? He can't. Ooh, it's going to get a bit twitchy. It's going to invite Stick to try and make a move here if they're not careful. Don't touch the gravel. Don't do that. Completely ruined the exit. Meanwhile, oh, Ardell's gone wide and into the gravel. While Mr. Pink and Redeemer are trying to pull away from Titan F1. I mean, Mr. Titan. We now completed 1 lap. 1 more lap in this race. Lap 5 now. Feels like it's been way more than 5 laps, but it hasn't. We spent like 3 of them under safety car. McLaren tries to look up the inside, maybe pull a fast one on Tipper. It almost does, but gets a bit too much of that curbing, and it kind of unsettles the car, so he can sit behind the Lamborghini driver for now. Back to the fight for the lead of the race. Deemer's trying to keep it with Mr. Pink. Meanwhile, Mr. Titan is dropping off a fair bit. So put up to about a second and a half now. Still a fight going on between Ardell and Game Stopper. He mounts the curbing. That might be a warning because that was quite wide. Oh, that's a bit of lag going on there. It's a really good fight from 7th place here between Ardell, Johan, and Game Stopper. Game Stopper would definitely like to get past these drivers here. He should be at the front of the field at this point. But some mistakes have been made, and he's now got to fight really hard the next 45 minutes here. As it has already turned to nighttime. You can see the drivers turning on their lights. They'll be being told that by the race director in-game to turn on those lights. Oh, as Ardell gets on the curb, save it! He just about does. I believe that's some damage. Yeah, that is some damage on Johan's front bumper. Oh, is that Nightcrawler? He's gone wide. Don't make contact. They don't make contact with that. It is very unfortunate for the Ferrari driver. Here comes. Oh, what a move by Game Stopper. I think Johan may have lifted there. He thought better of it. And here comes Ardell setting it up the inside. Don't make contact. No, turned in. Oh boy, that was interesting. I think Johan just misjudged it a little bit and turned in when Ardell was still trying to make the corner. And now Nightcrawler is back up a position. And Ardell maybe trying to make a move up the inside. It's gonna be late if he does. It's gonna be late. It's gonna be really late. It's gonna work. Yes, it will work. The switchback might work, but Ardell could just send Nightcrawler wide, and he tries to. There's almost contact. Still trying to fight this out. Now, I want to try and get a better angle of this fight. I think Ardell has it covered for now. Oh, Johan goes really wide, and Rush gets back through, although he is a few laps down at this point in the race. The field is now starting to spread out quite a bit, as this is the only fight on track. So keep an eye on this, and also keep an eye on the gap for the lead. Ardell, almost goes wide there on the track. I was going to get a bit later than Ardell, but he goes on the gravel, and that's going to completely ruin his run up to the chicane. Oh, it's Ardell hops the curb. He keeps it on the track. Lives to fight another day. Nightcrawler is a bit too far back to really make a move. He's got 8/10 back, 7/10 back on the Honda driver. Oh, there comes like, oh, whoa. That was very opportunistic from Nightcrawler, but Ardell saw him and left him space as he now goes on the grass. That's not what you want to do. That's a really nice camera angle. See the cars down below at the hairpin, and Nightcrawler's going to get a really good run, but no, he won't because he goes too late on the brakes and gets in the gravel. He's going to have to try and get back up to Ardell once again, as he's making quite a few mistakes here. And he makes another mistake. Oh, he just about keeps it on the track. Almost went on the gravel there. Let's get an act back together so we can try and hunt down Ardell. Try and get past the Honda driver. Oh, as he drifts. Oh, and he drifts it into a spin. Avoid the wall. I think he just tapped it. Oh man, he was making too many mistakes. Here comes Rush. He's gonna get passed. Here comes Johan. Will Johan get passed? Yes, he will. Nightcrawler's lost one spot only, but he's lost a lot of time, crucially. Here comes Tipper on Mr. Titan here. Tipper is right behind Mr. Titan now. He might go for a move up the inside. Yes, he will. He's try and scare Mr. Titan off the road. Gonna have to get the better run here. He's gonna go wide. No, he keeps it on the track. Oh, there's a bit of contact. Well, this is GT Racing, not Formula 1, so it's perfectly fine. Nothing new here. Can Mr. Titan try and keep it? Oh, they almost made contact. I think they may have made a tiny bit, but Mr. Titan goes a bit wide into the gravel. But there was really no one was at fault there. It's just the nature of the corner, at least in my opinion. But hey, I'm not a steward, so if Mr. Titan wants to report that, he can. But I don't think he will. In the long run, I don't think it will really matter. We've seen a lot of mistakes from these drivers, and there's still 40 minutes left in this race, so anything can happen. But it was a very fun fight to watch. Unfortunately, Mr. Titan just couldn't keep it on the track. Back up the front, we have Mr. Clean with a 30-second gap against Redeemer. These two have been staying out of trouble the entire race, and they have been rewarded by being 1-2 most of the race. And Tipper has made his way back to the field, already up to P3, with not even half the race done. So, and he's already made his pit stop. So that, wow, this is working really well, actually. There's no safety car, and he doesn't make any mistakes. He's got this one in the bag. Because since you don't have to try and stretch the fuel, and since you only need about 40 liters per stint, he can easily just make one more stop and go to the end. Meanwhile, Mr. Pink and Redeemer have to make 2 more stops in the course of 40 minutes, and that's just not ideal at all, because a pit stop around here costs you about 1 minute and 10 seconds. So that's 2 minutes and 20 seconds each for these top 2. So they really need another safety car, and with no fights on track at the moment, someone would have to crash really hard and just like be stationed in the middle of the track. So Tipper, he's had a very interesting race, but it's looking good right now. He drifts a bit and goes into the grass. Nope, he just about keeps it on the track. Johan now enters the pit lane to clear one of his 2 remaining pit stops. Yeah, that worked really well for the Lamborghini driver. This here, see if Nightcrawler hit the wall or not. He's pretty close from the helicopter cam. Got carried way too much speed into the corner. Does he hit the wall? I don't think he does. Nope, just about keeps it out of the wall. Oh, his Rush went into the grass. Oh, he is looping. Oh wow, the car just went. And he taps the wall. Thankfully, smart and gets just again the way of the drivers. Goes for pits. Look at that. Watch the move Tipper made on Mr. Titan here. Get the better run here. It's a little tight. Trying to struggle. Tipper's gonna go down the inside. The apex here. Brakes, crucially, that's what really slowed him down, but it let him stay on the track. A bit of contact, but that was perfectly fine. There was a tiny bit of contact, and then, oh yeah, Mr. Titan just got a tiny bit of the wheel on the grass there, and that sent him into that tailspin. So happy. Nothing wrong with that. Clean racing. now Stig has just entered the pit lane. Where does Axe come out? Does he come out ahead? Yes, he does. So it's looking pretty good. It'll be very interesting to see where he comes out in relation to really the top 5 at this stage. Is he left out? I believe he is. First, Stig is just not coming out of the pits. I believe he's come out behind Heatwave. Yes, he has. Where's Axe? I thought Axe was still in the lead lap, is he not? I'll have to wait until he gets to the hairpin. Gap's about 5 seconds between Mr. Pink and Redeemer for the lead. Tipper for the 8 seconds back from Redeemer. Where is Axe? It's P8, so yes, he is on the lead lap. He did get ahead of Stig. The gap between him and Nightcrawler is 22 seconds. Oh boy. Oh, that's really, really bright. Sometimes the game does that. It plays tricks on you. There's Mr. Titan. He's not coming to the pit, so Axe is going to come out ahead of him. Let's see here. 22, 24, 25. Let's say 32, 40, 48, 56. He might jump everyone at this point. He might do it. Axe might do it. At this stage, he might have the gap to get ahead of everyone. He just cannot make a mistake. Axe, please, if you're watching, just keep it on the track. You might be leading the race here in a few minutes. You honestly might be. And even if you get overtaken, they would still have to pit again. They are going to lose 2 minutes and 20 seconds no matter what, unless there's a safety car. So even if you came out behind them after they make their first stops, they would still have to make another one. So I think, yeah, thank you, Square. Yeah, I think Axe has this. Who's fighting? Car number 33. That's Ardell and Nightcrawler. They're out on a scrap again. Flashing the lights. On the inside. Oh, he thinks about it. Nightcrawler goes deep, and he's gonna allow Ardell to move again. Oh, it's Nightcrawler! Oh, almost crashes into the wall. Takes out the board. Thankfully, that won't give him too much damage, if any. We have Heatwave and Stig fighting as well. Mr. Titan not too far ahead. The gap between Mr. Pink and Redeemer is 3 seconds. Stig is right behind Heatwave now. Heatwave makes a huge mistake there. It's going to allow Stig to get the run down around the outside. Really outbrake the Porsche driver. Now he's going to back out, get the switchback. Heatwave drifts it out of the corner. Nice drift there. That could have ended horribly. But oh, this contact, that ended a bit not horribly, I'd say, because they're still fighting. They're still both in the race, but it's definitely not what he wanted. Who was that? It's Nightcrawler and Ardell. They're still scrapping hard here. Yes, I was right. I was looking at the map and I saw Mr. Pink look like he was going in the pits, as he really takes it very cautiously in that pit lane. That's going to cost him a lot of time. It's going to cost him a lot of time, indeed. Redeemer is right behind you before the pit stop, so it could be very crucial here. Axe pushing the Schumacher. Just keep it on the track, Axe. Just keep it on the track. Should be coming. Yeah, he'll definitely be coming out ahead of Mr. Pink at this point in the race. Go. Well, actually, no. It's real quick. Ardell's going very defensive. Oh my gosh. Left, right chicane. Ooh, Nightcar comes to the pits actually. Right. It's between Heat Wave and Stig. Pink is moving now. Where is Axe? Oh, Axe is gonna come out behind him. I lied. Oh no, it's about 8 seconds. But crucially, Mr. Titan still has the pit. Oh, Axe is still. Oh, Stig, no! No, they were both getting squirrely on that curbing, and Stig is around. It's always a pain to get these cars back straight, especially on the grass, but he's managed to do it. Oh, that's such a shame for the McLaren driver. Here's Redeemer, our race leader currently. Currently has a 10-second lead, 2 Tibber behind. Mr. Pink is 60 seconds behind, I believe. So it's going to be very close. It's going to be very close. I'm going to go to the replays real quick. Lead. Reason for why Mr. Pink lost so much time to Redeemer. I just think it was a matter of Redeemer picking up the pace, if I'm honest. Back to the live race. See if there's any action going on. There's not currently. There's Mr. Pink, about 4 seconds behind Ardell, who is a further 38 seconds behind GameStopper. So what's 38? 45, 56. That's pretty close. Axe is currently running P6, only 11 seconds behind Mr. Pink. The pit stop's going to cost you around 60 seconds instead of 70. So at this point, he'll still come out ahead. Really, Axe is fighting Tipper at this point. It really depends when Tipper pits and how long it pits, as Redeemer's coming to the pits now. He was also pretty cautious into the pit lane, but better safe than sorry. As Tipper going past now. GameStopper is also going past. Mr. Pink's about 45 seconds behind at this stage. I think Mr. Pink just about is covered. Mr. Pink is fighting Ardell at the moment. Oh! Ardell almost smashes into the side of Mr. Pink. But at this point, Mr. Pink should have the gap. He should be coming out ahead of Redeemer. Redeemer is not moving yet. Yeah, Mr. Pink should have this at this stage. He definitely got held up fighting Ardell, but that hasn't stopped him from setting some decent sector times to make sure he stays ahead of Redeemer. It's fast and straight, the finish line. Redeemer still on the jacks. Yep. So the undercut has worked quite well for Mr. Pink. That was around 3 seconds before the pit stops. Now, just now coming out of the pits. Crucially ahead of XF1. So at this stage, if Axis tires hold up, he will easily come out. He will easily be ahead of his teammate Ardell. As Ardell goes wide into the gravel, in the grass, and now almost into the gravel. So it's coming out of Ardell, Mr. Pink, Redeemer. Well, actually, yeah, Redeemer and P5, not P3, and GameStopper. Question is, will it come out ahead of Tipper? Oh, it's Tipper. Oh, that was very close to the gravel and very close to losing the car even more. Oh, that's car number 33. That is Ardell in the grass. He's still waiting for cars to go by. It's clear to do so. There's one other car. Car number. Oh, he's pitting. He's retiring. No, Ardell. Ardell, you were third, my man. Well, that's his race over. That's very shame for the Honda driver. Oh, Axe, no! Oh, no, no, save it! Oh, no, Axe! That's huge. Oh, my gosh. That's huge. How much time? That's race deciding. That is 14 seconds lost. That's going to be huge. And this tire is going to be very overheated. That is a very big mistake, a very crucial mistake. Lost about 15 seconds on this lap. Still within a shot of the podium at this stage, but those 15 seconds would have been very nice, especially when you're trying to defend. Oh, he goes off the track again, but he doesn't spin, so he doesn't lose that much time. But yeah, those 15 seconds are going to be very crucial at the end of this race. Hopefully, you can just go down the tires and just keep it clean for the next 25 or so minutes. Tipper is still leading the race, doing more laps. So we now cross the line for lap 17 of this race. We're over halfway through, so probably another 13 or so laps left in this race. Telling you, it's also looking good for a GameStopper. He had to climb his way back to the field. Did that early pit stop with Tipper, and now he is ahead of Mr. Pink and Redeemer. So, like I said earlier, when the safety car came out, them pitting early was definitely the right call due to it being such a short race. It was basically a free pit stop, and some of these tier 2 drivers don't quite have that experience with the strategies of ACC, but Tipper and GameStopper definitely figured out how it worked. And it's shown. It's also shown for Axe. He's had his mistake, but the strategy is still working very well for the Honda driver. So 4 seconds off Mr. Titan. Mr. Titan. We'll see in a minute here how far he is off of Redeemer. Which is 15 seconds. 14. So that's 18. That's another 22. Keeping Swear another 8 seconds ahead, so 32, 36, 40 seconds. Somewhere around there, somewhere around 40 seconds. Actually, it's much better than that, I lied. Mr. Pink is 45 seconds behind, Redeemer's 60, Mr. Titan 73, and Can't quite see it, but I'm just going to assume Axe is around 80 seconds behind. So at this point, he will not be coming out ahead of Tipper. At 15 seconds was quite huge. GameStopper puts in a 57.7 compared to Tipper's 59.2. So GameStopper seems to pick up the pace a little bit here at this closing stage of the race as we approach the 20-minute mark. But never say never. We can always get a safety car if someone decides to crash while fighting someone. The rules are in ACC at least. On BRL ACC, you will no longer have a safety car opportunity after the last 10 minutes in a race. So once that clock reaches 10 minutes left, you will no longer have a chance to get a safety car. That is Axe again! No! He has spun around, coming out. Where is that? At the S's. Yeah, he spun at the S's. A very uncommon place to have an incident, and he has spun around. He's clear to move if he chooses to. The question is, will he continue or give up? Don't give up, Axe. I think he's giving up. Or maybe his wheel disconnected. I do not know, but I do know he's sitting stationary and he has now been lapped by Tipper. So that's his race over. I think he's actually left the session. So maybe he got disconnected. But that is his race officially over for tonight. A very shame. That is car number 52 of Stig. He's made another mistake. Or to get ahead of him. Very shame for Axe. Looking like a dark horse for this race with that bold strategy. But unfortunately, it's just not worked out. So now, really, it's just about the top two, Tipper and GameStopper. They have made the strategy called work of pitting under the safety car so long ago in this race. Meanwhile, Mr. Pink and Redeemer stayed out and did not pit on that early safety car, and they've had to deal with that. If they were first and second, now they're gonna have to stay in third and fourth, unless it's a mistake from the leaders. You know, Mr. Titan has had a quiet race. He's never been really on pace with the top two, but he's just stayed consistent, and now he's going to be rewarded P5. So I thought I heard some gravel get kicked up. It's not. Meanwhile, Heatwave in the Porsche in P6. Not too bad a result for the Porsche driver. Definitely be happy with that. Meanwhile, Nightcrawler definitely would have wanted more from this race. He was looking pretty pacey. At one point, he was fourth before the first lap incidents. He'll be wanting more. He's shown the pace, so he'll bounce back stronger at Snetterton next week. Hopefully he likes that track. I know I hate that track. Oh, is that Stig? Yes, it is. We just went to him. Oh, he spun around. The wall, yes he does, but yeah, that's very a shame. Now he's been lapped by Tipper. And hopefully he gets out of the way of the Lexus driver. Will he? Yes, he will. Very nice. Oh, is he losing around again? Gets it back on track though, and he will continue to fight another day in this race. This is the first, I believe this is. Yes, this is the first hour-long race in Tier 2. The other races have either been 30-minute double headers or a 45-minute race at Zolder. So this is new territory for a lot of these drivers in Tier 2, as they're just starting their pathway to get even faster on ACC. So it's definitely a new experience. Some of them are faltering. GameStopper is still gaining on Tipper. The gap is still closing down. As TRL Stig comes into the pits, you can see it on the map, so he will hopefully continue on, or you might just call it a day and retire. can just see in the clouds, just see a bit of the sun coming out. It's now 6:20 a.m. and the sun's going to come around 7 a.m., 8 a.m. So it's only a matter of time before the tires start to feel the sun hitting them. Hopefully these drivers set their PSI correctly, or else they will be struggling in this last 15 minutes, as that's GameStop drifting a little bit there. I don't do that too much, although I say that the gap has come down to 3 seconds now to Tipper. So whatever he's doing, it's working quite well. Remember, all these drivers in the top 5 still have to pit one more time, and there's 15 minutes left, so theoretically they should be pitting quite soon. And speaking of not spoon, GameStopper is now in the pits. Trying to do the undercut. He was around 2 seconds behind Tipper for the pit lane. Tipper is really starting to fade off. That's 2 consistent 59s. It's not the pace he was showing earlier. Definitely not the pace Mr. Pink and Redeemer have been showing. They've been quietly lapping in the 57s and low 58s, so it'll be very interesting to see what GameStop can do here with this undercut strategy. On board Mr. Pink, he's going to be coming out ahead. And now the sun is pretty much out at this point. It's going to be a few more minutes before it comes out. So easily come ahead of GameStopper, no surprise there. But like I said, he still has to pit, and so does Redeemer. They both have to pit. Tipper is struggling a lot on these tires. Let's see what he does with the Schumacher S's. It's going to go a bit wide. It's not going to help his lap time. As you can see, he lost about 4-5 tenths through that corner alone. See what he does through here. He's going to go a bit wide. Let me see. He takes a tiny bit. He's really struggling with grip quite a bit through these sequence of corners. Now he's going to make his way onto the straight. It's going to be about 1.5 seconds off of his PB at this point in time. Goes through the fast left-right chicane. Keep on the track. Yes, he does. Will he pit to respond to GameStopper? No, he's going to stay out. I'm trying to do the overcut here. I don't know if it'll work, but if it does, kudos to him. Let's see his lap time. He's 1.8 seconds off. What's it going to be? 58.7. So he's back in the 58s. It's definitely what he needs to be doing if he wants to make sure he stays ahead of GameStopper. GameStopper's come out pretty clean air. He's got Redeemer a few seconds ahead of him. They're teammates. I'm sure if Redeemer gets caught up by GameStopper, there won't be any issues between those two drivers. Mr. Pink tackling into the fast left-right chicane. Will he pit as well? He's got 13 minutes left to do it. Now he's going to stay out again. So we have a fight between Hatewave and Nightcrawler for P6 in this race. Oh, that's Heatwave getting loose. Oh, that was very close. Good reaction from Nightcrawler there. He should have the run here. Not necessarily. That Porsche is very slow and straight. You see him trying to break the slipstream. Won't really matter too much as the slipstream isn't that powerful in ACC. But we'll see what Nightcrawler can do. Will he send it down the inside or try and do a switch back? Oh, he's almost going to go back into the back of the Porsche. Keeps it out of the gearbox. Will live to fight another day. The drivers still have to make a pit stop. On all these shows, Tipper does a 2-minute flat, basically. That's a terrible lap time. That's the slowest he's been the entire race, and that is he has to get off those tires now because that is not good pace at all. That is going to hurt him quite a bit. See he does these tires. Maybe the driver's haven't set the PSI right for these sunny conditions, and maybe they'll all be doing these lap times, but I find that hard to believe. Keep an eye on the map. Oh, that's Stig going off in the essence, but he's back on track. No issues there. Crawler's gone ahead of Heatwave. Make sure to use a replay to catch that overtake for you all. Let's see what GameStopper does. His teammate does a 57.9. GameStopper with a 59.6, so he gained about 7/10 on Tipper that laps right there. So Tipper's gonna have to step up his game here if he wants to stay ahead of GameStopper once the pit stops arrive. So now it goes to replays real quick so we can catch the overtake. Wave. I wonder if Heatwave goes off here. He might just go off. Go deep. Oh, he does. He drifts it out of the corner, and that should be moved down. They're going to side by side down the hill. Will Heatwave back off? Will Nightcrawler just send it? Oh, Heatwave's going to send it, but he's going to drift onto the gravel, and that's how he got the move. That's how Nightcrawler got the position. Tipper is still out doing laps. Previous lap was 59.6. Meanwhile, we would have saw Mr. Pink do a 58.6, so he's gained a second. Although it won't matter, the gap's 44 seconds, and they both at the pit. And Redeemer coming across the line now, 57.7. He's flying, but he still has to pit. He's about 15 seconds off of Mr. Pink. There's only 8 minutes left in this race, so about 5, maybe 6 laps. They still have to pit. They're making it a bit close. They're really... I don't know what exactly they're doing, but I do know one thing. GameStopper did a 58.4. That is 1.2 seconds quicker than Tipper. So I'm really questioning Tipper's strategy right now. He needs to pit. He's losing way too much time to GameStopper. Bit. Oh, he stays out again. Hope the drivers know they still have to make one more stop. It is mandatory. You see it by the orange block next to their names with the number 1 next to it. That means they have to make one more pit stop or they will be disqualified from the race. Pace isn't terrible. 58.7 is definitely better than what we've seen previously. But at the moment, Redeemer is lapping just a bit faster. Redeemer does a 57.6, 57.7, so he is going quite a ways faster than Tipper at the moment. It's only going to get worse for Tipper as long as he stays out. Twist. On that curve. Wide. They're always gonna drift into the pits. Oh, he escapes. Don't know if that's allowed, but I'm sure it's not that big of a deal. For pit, no, he stays out. He is still staying out. This is a very interesting strategy. Titan has just served his stop. So I think that answers my question that they had Tipper get back to first. He just had great pace, honestly. And then he pitted under the first safety car, like the second lap. Meanwhile, Mr. Pink and Redeemer pitted about 30 minutes into the race, and I still don't know why they're not pitting, Palm Tree, because it says they have to make one more stop. And Game Stopper's made his pit stop. Mr. Titan just made his pit stop, and Stigman is a while ago, so I do not know what they're doing. This is the last lap they have to make the pit stop. We're now coming to the final lap. It's going to be very close. This could be the final lap. It's really up to Tipper. I guess they're just not hitting. We'll have to wait till after the race. See what the stewards think of that one. Game stopper has already done his pit stops and he was just waiting for everyone else to pit. Because he should have been leading this race. He should have this win. He should be leading right now. Let's see. Mr. Pink pits. He does not pit. Redeemer pit? Nope. None of them pit, as that is the wave off. Yes, you don't have to pit. Yeah, it could be a visual glitch. Well, no, because it was a visual glitch. I don't know, because we've only seen Tipper and Mr. Pink pit. We've only seen the top 3 pit once. And Tipper did his stop at the start of the race and hasn't pitted since. I don't know. But this is the race finish, I guess. Tipper's fully finished? There might be one more lap, but it's gonna be very close. No, this is the last lap. Tipper will win. Okay. 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 I am very confused. This is a very interesting end to the race. Oh, here's come Redeemer and Game Stopper. Mr. Pink's gonna get a huge penalty as well. Yep, 130 seconds. A little deep, Redeemer. No, he didn't. Very nice. Oh, no, he did. A little bit. Huh. Redeemer's gonna cross the line third, but Game Stopper's gonna get it. I think it might get the win. No. This is very odd. Never seen this before. Well, I'll get the podium drivers in. I'll get the top 4 in, and discuss this ending. Yeah, that's interesting. Oh, that's a Stig going into the wall. Very nice. Yep, just waiting for the other podium drivers to enter the party. Just make sure you include your audio, please. No. think we'll get the podium interview started now. If the other two invitees join, then they will join. But in the meantime, we'll start off with Redeemer. The timetables say you're P4, but you finished on track P3. Run me through your race.
It was definitely a mixed bag of emotions. You know, the start was kind of chaotic. You know, it was really nobody's fault. Um, but yeah, the start was chaotic. You know, I was just trying to keep up with Pink, but he just pulled away from me. And then I tried to do the overcut, and it didn't work out. And I was trying to play catch up, and I just spun. And from there, it's just damage limitation. Kept my head down. Unfortunately for GameStopper, who had to pit for fuel, but got back up into the podium, so it's all I can ask for.
Yeah, it looks like a very interesting race from your perspective. Still consistently getting those top points, and I believe. Who are you fighting the championship? I believe you're fighting. I forget. All I know is that you're still in the top two, so a
Yeah,
good
it's
race from you.
Titan and I fighting for
Oh
first.
yeah, so you all scored him again. Well, I have one question. Are you looking forward to Snutterton next
No.
week? Yeah, me neither.
I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, the Lexus is definitely an amazing car. You know, it stuck really well to the circuit tonight. So we'll see what happens next week at Snyderton.
Yes, we will. Well, thanks for racing tonight, and you enjoy the rest of your night.
Yes, sir. You as well.
Yep. On to Tipper. You had a great race. You started on pole, and then you fell back on the grid, and then you got tapped in the first corner, and then you made your way up back to the lead. So run me through your race. Nah, you're fine.
Yeah, we were quite lucky because when I set my time, I went over start finish and it was immediately red. It was like a gap of half a second. But we were, I think, not too bad under these conditions. And it's always a bit of luck when you do like that with the red flag and so on. But I think with P4, I think it's a good base for the race.
But you're 13 points behind the guys 59 McLaren, and you can't control what they're going to do. All you can do is control your own destiny.
Yeah, because I cannot see them, so it's quite good for us. And yeah, we will do our own thing. I think if we have a good start, I have no problems and no struggles in the first lap. We should be quite good in the race.
So assume that Jasmine, are you going to, Jasmine Jabbar, are you going to be in the car second or third?
Oh, I have to see. We'll play by ear, but I think throughout the whole season I've been running second, so we might do second.
I'm going to put you on the spot here, a really tricky question. I remember going through Eau Rouge over radio, Spa 24 hours. Hope we're not going to see any of that here today, are we?
Yeah, we know it brought a lot of excitement for everyone, but yeah, but
Yeah, I'd say for sure that was
so I
a
guess
very unexpected win. I thought you guys had to pit again because on the screen it said one more mandatory pit stop, but I was looking in the chat. It said that Skeppy, the league owner, said you didn't have to do the extra pit stop. So I was like, man, where is games? Why are they not pitting? Because I saw, like you mentioned before, your lap times were really falling off. I'm like, he's got to pit or else GameStop is going to get the undercut on him massively. But it worked out in the end.
Which is good here, and we will see. Those 13-point deficits of the McLaren, is that going to bear on your mind at all?
No, anyway, we have to win, I guess, to win the championship, and will not be easy. The good thing is that our
Yep, it was definitely a fun race to watch. And yeah, that's it for tonight, everyone. We will be back next Sunday for Tier 1 at Centerton, and next Monday again for Centerton in Tier 2. So hope everyone has a good night, and we will see you next time.